So let's have a look at leave. Leave is probably one of the most important things that we can teach our dogs. And the earlier we can start teaching it, the better, because it saves your remote controllers being pinched, your shoes from being pinched, things getting snuffled up off the floor that shouldn't be, and obviously expensive vet bills coming from that, so we want to keep that from happening. When your guests come into the house, you can say the word leave, and the word leave actually means leave that alone, look at me. Okay, so that's the kind of behaviours that we're going to be looking for. So there are a couple of ways that we can formally teach it, and when we're formally teaching it, don't be too tempted to use the word elsewhere, because your dog will not know what to do. So when we're formally teaching, we're in a place of little distraction, our dog is very close to us, and we're trying to get the connection with the behaviour and the word. So once we've got that connection between the behaviour and the word, then we can start bringing it into the outside world. We can start taking it into other rooms of the house, into the garden, and put it into out of walks. So when you're going out for your walks, clip on your lead, go outside, walk up and down, maybe a little bit heel work, and then break it up with the basic behaviours that you're working on with your dog. So it could be sit, down, stand. You're gonna do it. Good cow. It could be those behaviours, or it could be leave, or it could be recall. Whatever you're working with your dog on, you can take into the outside world once you have practiced inside. So many people say, but my dog will do it when they're at home. And it's like, yes, excellent, well done. That is step one. And then take it into the outside world. Work around different distractions, and don't forget that stage as well. And then the reason why we teach you in this manner is so if you're struggling to get your dog to do it when you're out and about, then you just revert back to these behaviours, back to these training methods, and then your dog will be able to do that and follow through with that so much easier, because you are doing the correct thing. That's what it's about. It's what you're doing to help your dog choose the correct behaviour at the time, right? So to work on leave in those two formal ways, when we think about the word, leave means leave it alone, you're never going to have it, it's not yours, look at me and you get something better. Yeah, so we want to convince our dogs that by leaving them alone, they get something great from ourselves. Okay, and in order to do that, we're going to have two treats in our hands pretty much all the time. You can have a dry kibble in one hand because it's less appealing, and then you can have a yummy treat in the other hand, or you can just have the same treats throughout. Either way. So what I'm going to do to start with is have the treat available by popping my hand out like this. I'm not going to say the word just yet. I'm literally just going to pop the treat out and close it off. When she goes for it, I close it off. When she leaves it alone and looks at me, yes, good girl, she gets a treat from this hand, okay? Yes, good girl. And I'll take this away and I'll try again. It's not right. Yes, good girl, well done. And when you're doing this with your puppies, it could look a little bit messy. So your puppy might be clawing at your hand, they might be nibbling on your hand, so make sure your digits are all tucked away and they're not going to get anything from it. And keep your arm still, because if I move my arm, then my dog is going to move with it, right? So if I'm moving, she's just not going to get the picture. She thinks that's what she's meant to do to get the treat, and we want her to think all she has to do is leave it alone and look at me. Okay, so again, flat palm, close it off. As soon as she leaves it alone. Yes, good girl, well done. And again, flat palm, close it off. Yes, good girl, well done. So she starts getting the concept quite quickly. Flat palm, close it off. Yes, good girl, well done. So now she knows that when I do that, she needs to look at me. So we can make it slightly harder by reopening the hand, okay? So I'm gonna flat palm, close it off. When she looks at me, open again, close it off, open again. Yes, good girl. For not moving towards the treat, she gets one, okay? So flat palm, close it off. Yes, good girl. And And then if I want to do it harder, flat palm, close it off. Yes, good girl, well done. So when she's doing it reliably for me, that's when I add the word. The word is leave, and it goes in just before you move your hand. So leave. Yes, good girl. That was a little bit too long for my liking, so we'll try again. Leave. Yes, good girl. Well done. Okay, so you still have your original treat in that hand, right? The other way that we can teach it, you're going to want to make sure that your dog cannot get to this treat, because if they do, you've got to repeat yourself 30 times over to get back to the same point that you were at. So it's well within your interest to make sure that your dog does not get to this treat. You've got another one available in this hand. This one they can see, and it goes on the floor. But I'm going to hook the collar just here, or the harness perhaps, or if you have the lead on, that's fine too. And then I'm going to place the treat here. And then she might try and go for it. See if I can encourage her a little bit. So if she tries to go for it, yes, good girl. We just hold them back, and then when they give up trying to get to this, to a point where you can let go of the collar, yes, good girl, then they get a treat from you, and you can pick this one up quite calmly. Yeah, if you've got to go, whoa, then maybe they weren't quite ready. Okay, so again, hook of the collar to make sure they're not going anywhere, and then I'm going to entice her into this a little bit for you. There we go. Right, so she wants that one. And then when she gives up, I can release the collar. Yes, good girl, well done. And pick that one up. So they never get the one on the floor. Okay, that's really, really, really important. And when they start doing that reliably, you can say leave and place the treat on the floor. Then you get a really good connection between the word and the action, because your reward is coming out quickly. Okay, then you can make it harder. So good. So you can say leave, leave, leave. Ooh, too hard. Leave it. When she looks at me. Leave it. Yes, good girl. Well done. And then we want to make sure they do not get to that one, so maybe she wasn't quite ready for that. Leave it. Yes, good girl. Well done. And then I can pick that one up. Till eventually you can go leave, leave. Yes, good girl. Well done. Because you said the word leave, it means they're going to get something good from you. That's all they're thinking. I'm going to get something good from mum right now. Leave. Yes, good girl. Well done. And then once you've got to this kind of point, you can think about maybe flicking something off the countertops or dropping it like this. So I'll get my treat ready to go, and then I'm going to go, what's this? Sit. Good. Leave. Yes, good girl. Well done. Good girl. So you can mimic real life as well as you're doing it. So what other situations have you come across where leave might be really handy? You can say, ready, Roxy, ready, leave. Leave it. Yes, good girl. Well done. Okay, so we can apply it to real life situations as we go on, but it's really, really, really important that when you say the word leave, that they're able to follow through with that. So if you say it and they manage to get the item, then just go back a step, go back to basics, go back to this level and practice again, reaffirm that word, make sure it's really strong, and then you can put it back into the big outside world as you're going. Okay, so give it a go.